What's up, everybody? Hope y'all having a good Saturday so far. Turn this down. Oh, I am going to embark on a dangerous. Get someone here. So, a dangerous, ambitious task today. We're going to try to save DC Cinematic Universe. This is for free $99. So anyone that's watching, Walter Hamada, Jeff Johns, Snyder's, maybe Ray Fisher, if he wants to see what a good franchise about now, maybe he can watch to see what we do. The best way to start this off for me would be to go back and see where we began first. We'll go back and look at films that came out. I'll talk about each of them. Compare to Marvel, of course. What should happen next? What I think should happen. And then ultimately answer the question, should they be saved? Or the question you gotta ask. So, first thing we're gonna do is gonna go, y'all can hear the vibes in the background, is we're actually go and look at, if I can pull it up, we're gonna go, let's jump into, first look at the Wikipedia for, then we can go to my classroom where I can show you all how this is gonna go. Okay, so we're gonna scroll all the way to the top. So, as you know, the extended universe, they call it the extended universe, but this is in the cinematic universe. Started in 2013. Production began in 2011. Actually, I want to say, yeah, there we go. Let me put this right here, and then you all see me from there and there. So let me actually captions. Let's hide that. I bet. Okay, so it began in 2011 with production being 2011. So we're looking at a pretty timeline of they had a run and it was worth it. Now the you're gonna run into is they had all these shows they do. They wanted to. It said here they unlike the Marvel Cinematic Universe, they wanted to have loosely connected storylines with their autonomy for the film and each individual create each individual film. First was Man of Steel, BVS, we're talking about Suicide Squad, Wonder Woman, Justice League, Aquaman, and Birds of Prey, and Wonder Woman 1984. So, for the purposes of this discussion today, we're going to focus on these from Man of Steel to the Wonder Woman 1984. Nothing in the future we're going to focus on. So, we're not going to focus on Suicide Squad, The Flash, the Aquaman sequel, Shazam 2, Fury of the Gods, Black Adam, and Wonder Woman 3, essentially. But we are going to focus on Zack Snyder's Justice League because that still counts. So we're going to on that because that's the big what we're going to talk about. So let's talk about each of these films. Let's go into them and let's pretty much talk about. Let's start with Man of Steel. Man of Steel for being a movie for what it wasn't a bad film. Had a good cast. It was Zack Snyder's, I want to say his third shot at a comic book franchise. He had done both the 100 movies. They weren't half bad. But this was Superman. And last time with Superman prior to the movie was Superman Returns. And that movie didn't get a lot of good publicity. It wasn't a good film. It really wasn't. It had horrible writing. But in this one, you bring in David Goyer to write for it. Henry Cavill is a cut out version of Superman, and it was a good film. For what it was, it wasn't a bad film. Now, the question that goes into this is this a good way to start off the universe for DC? And the answer to that is kind of iffy, because here's why I say that. Audio was getting a feedback, bro. Okay, let me go in here and turn that down a bit. Sorry about that, y'all. See if I just edit something. Give me 1 second, y'all. All right, how does it sound now? Okay, let's see. Let me turn this down. All right, that might be a little bit better. I hope that's better. Let me go into the settings real quick. See if I can do some. Okay. I'm gonna turn this down a bit. All right. So it should be better. Hopefully it is. That's my hope, but at this point, who knows? Let me go into my settings and check this real quick. Sorry about that, y'all. I just want to make sure that the sound is good for everybody. We're not blowing one out, and we're not doing anything too ridiculous. Okay. Turn my sound down a bit. All right. How am I sounding, y'all? I'm sounding good? Okay. I think that's looking at my levels. My levels are pretty good. All right. Cool. So let's get back to it. Thank you. And by the way, thank you in the chat, Rio, for the shout out. Good looking. Homie Rio. His podcast before. Yeah, I think he started a new one too. So whenever you start that podcast up, Rio, let me know. If you want to check out, shout you out on that one. But still wasn't a bad film. I can say that with no question, man, it still wasn't a bad film. And had they gone this route, everyone kind of thought that DC was going to go the same route as Marvel, where you were going to put out a bunch of films that were single films to lead to a Justice League film. I mean, this movie is chock full of the league. I mean, if we're being 1,000% honest, they kind of show off remembers the league way. It was unfortunately after this that they decided to go about their way. And 3 years later, they dropped Batman vs. and Dawn of Justice. Now, if my friend Joe or Matt Motor City Street Academy, which you should be supporting, they're in my worked with them before and done podcasts with both Joe and Mav. We talk about coming back together and doing that, so we might do that again. But this movie is the movie that divides the three of us. I'm not saying we stopped working as a podcast with this movie. It's just this movie was definitely a movie that I was decided this movie gonna run, and I was completely wrong. Okay. So let's talk about this. This film came out the exact same year, I want to say, as Civil War. So I'm gonna go into an issue. DC faces when it comes to this to live action films is competition with Marvel. DC wanted to very much catch up with Marvel. So they're like, look, we can make our own Civil War kind of movie. We're gonna be BVS on Justice. Because have and I hate this cast is actually pretty fucking good. Short of Jesse Eisen playing Lex Luthor, if you had to be Jesse Eisenberg was playing Xander Luthor. He's not playing Lex. He's playing Lex's son, who's deranged. Cool. Totally understand that. Lawrence and Diane Lane, Jeremy Irons as Alfred. Amazing choice, by the way, has Alfred. Holly Hunter. That was the one thing. She's playing Wonder Woman. Don't know how I feel about that. So, what's the film? There were problems with this film altogether. I can go over those, but I think I already know them. The movie, the fact this gave away damn entire movie. The fact the movie was a jumbled mess. The fact that you really didn't need Ben Affleck's, you didn't need old Batman to match a young Superman. To be fair, if we're thinking about it, when this version of Batman was comics at that time was criminalized, the same length as him, if not a little younger. From this is still arguably this is still Superman's year one. This is not his. This isn't year 5. This is not year 10. This is not year 25. Year. This is still year 1. This man made at his life was in the comics. This movie in the comics. Gotham. Yeah, I'm gonna look if I can get back to you guys. Gotham, Metropolis, are never in the same area. It doesn't work, and the reason it doesn't work is because if Gotham and Metropolis are next to each other, then there's no need for either one of the heroes. One of them has to go. If Gotham is there, Batman's in both Gotham and Metropolis, and vice versa, because I'm quite sure of Superman would have escaped over to Gotham, and Batman can't beat Superman's villains. Not beating Brainiac, he's not beating Parasite. Superman's villains, Batman's villain with Superman's area, they're getting wiped out easily. That's just so. Everyone's always seen Metropolis versus Gotham as Chicago versus I would say because Metropolis never should be near the ocean. I would say yeah. I think it's the version of New York. So Metropolis is New York. So it was very weird to be them be right next to each other. But that wasn't one of the reasons this film. But this film was not a good film. It money back. We're gonna get into the money later. But this was not good. Let's go back and let's look at the next film that came on this list, and that would be. Let's see if we go to films. If I can get it. Films. The next film, Suicide Squad. I just describe each of these without having to actually go to them. Suicide Squad. Great cast. Smith, of course, Big Willie style, box office guy. You know, big box office guy. He is literally playing. If I can get that back up right here. Okay. Suicide Squad. You have Will Smith. You have Margot Robbie, who just got off Wall Street. You have Joel Edgerton playing Rick Flag. You have Viola Davis playing Amanda Waller. Damn good cast. Here's the issue with this film, though. When this film originally dropped the trailer, the trailer was seen as god awful. I mean, nobody liked the trailer, and nobody really liked Jared Leto's Joker. Jared Leto's version of the Joker reminded me of Tekashi 9 playing Joker, and that's not a compliment. It's not. It's not. So Warner Bros. Was like, okay, well, that sucks. So what do we do? I know we're gonna hire a company to come in and redo the trailer. So they rehired a company trailer. Now, if you know this, I'm gonna tell you. They rehired a company to come do the trailer. When they redid the trailer, they put Bohemian Rhapsody in it. Warner Brothers loved it so much. They went behind David Ayer, who's done all amazing. David Ayer has done a boatload of film. I think you have Fast and the Furious, King Day, SWAT. A lot of his movies deal with gang violence and police corruption, as it says in his bio. But they behind him. He cut of the film already made. They went behind him. They hired this company to plan and redo the entire film. This small trailer company who did maybe a buck 30 of a minute trailer came in and redid a 2-hour film for no reason. To the point where now there's a hashtag being spread around regarding this film. This film is where it was Justice League. We're going to get into that. Wonder Woman came in 2017. That was DC's big win. It is a remake. It basically is pretty much a redo of the first Captain America movie. But it was fun because it was Wonder Woman. A good trailer, had a good cast. The villain was mad, but that's one of the villains all in general. But it was. I'm gonna get to that in a minute, Rio. Don't worry. But one of them was good. Justice League. Just ran into the same issues. Now, Justice League's issue is that Zack was brought back to Justice League. Unfortunately, during the process of making Justice League, unfortunately, Zack had the untimely pass of his daughter. I will never talk about in a will because losing a member, but a child is difficult. So one of my brothers brought in Josh Whedon to complete the film, and then edit the film how they want it. Now the issue that comes in this is he brought in someone they automatically thought was going to make the film a billion-dollar franchise, but a billion-dollar movie. Because if you saw what he did with Avengers movie, he did that. He literally made them dollars to do the one. It had for the rest of them. It came out. It had the highest opening weekend for any movie ever. Busley came out and it didn't do well. It took a year off. It came their second most successful film after Wonder Woman. I don't know. I'm sorry. Aquaman is the most successful film box office. Critic wise, Wonder Woman there is the but Aquaman will be second best in rating as far as what I see. And look what Aquaman. Jason comes back, does Aquaman, knocks a park. It's just a Christmas film. I think it up. Did it go up against Spider-Verse? Was that same year? I think it might have been. So that well. Then they have Shazam. Shazam drops in 2019. They do well there. They have no movies come out that entire year DCEU for the DC Cinematic Universe. Now Joker does drop in November 2019, but it's not part of their overarching universe. So Shazam was the only big film that year, and it did pretty good. Shazam is just big, just in live action form, and it was a damn good movie. At Birds of Prey that following year. Not the worst film, but not the best film. Birds of Prey definitely suffered from the same effect of Suicide. It felt like Suicide Squad just all female. Not a bad way, but in like could have been better. Plus, none of the people that were involved in the other films were in this one. And this one was 1984. And if you saw my 2020 review, you know how I felt about one in 1984. Now, the point I'm trying to get to with this, with explaining all these films, is if you notice, with this setup, there is no overarching. They said before they want the film their own thing. As I'm looking, as we go up and we go to where it says the following. Unlike the Marvel Cinematic Universe, the franchise has loosely connected storylines with greater autonomy for the filmmakers to create each individual film. I want to tell you right now, and I want to look you all on the camera when I say this. That is the biggest lap that the Warner Brothers and DC was at. They wanted to connect universe. They want these are connected. They're connected, and that's the issue. The issue is, and I'll use Marvel as a way to explain this. What Marvel does, okay, I know how to do this. So, okay. In Captain America Civil War, when you see... No, I got one better. Okay, that was kind of a stretch. Age of Ultron, for the most part, third act, Wanda Maximoff looked at Vision very like she's connected to him in some kind of way. We don't really get why. But at the end of Age of Ultron, Vision deliberately goes to save Wanda from the wreckage of Sokovia Falls. Next time we see those two, they are living in Avengers Mansion, or Avengers 2.0 in New York. And they're together. They're building a relationship. Now, this is now 2 films. Vision want to protect Wanda, and basically keeping her safeguard. Not under Tony's rule, on Tony's word. We'll agree on Tony's word, but he literally cares about her. Then what happened? And then they have the fight in Civil War. Next time we see the two of them in Infinity War together, despite the fact they're on 2 different sides of an argument, they're together. And now we see how that carries out into WandaVision. The point I'm making here is, you see how within 4 they kept a storyline going without needing to actually see. That's what I mean. In DC, they're only forcing storylines. I don't need. They're only forcing storylines and they're together. You look at the list of what's come out prior to the next series of films. If you look at this list right now, let's pull the list back up. If you go to the list, if you look at this list, this is out of place, and I'm gonna tell you why. BVS should be dead last. No. BVS should be second to last. The last film should be Wonder Woman. But Justice League. It should go the following. It should go Anna Steel, Wonder Woman, Aquaman, Shazam, Birds of Prey, Suicide Squad, Birds of Prey, Batman, Superman, and then Justice League. But unfortunately, they don't want to do that. Because what they want to do, they want to keep up with Marvel. Now, that's just not going to happen. And now we have to go into something that I did not go into, which is unfortunately the money side of this. Now, I am not a person that is on the money and wanting to talk about the money side of DC. But unfortunately, we're going to have to do this. So, step in the classroom. We're going to break down the money of this. Okay, so these are the films that came out in order, right? So, DCEU films. Menace 2013. BVS Dawn of Justice 2016. Suicide Squad later that year in 2016. One Man Justice League in 2017. I think it came out in the summer. Justice League came out in the fall around the exact same time as Thor Ragnarok. Aquaman 2018. Shazam 2019. Birds 2020. 1984 and 2020. I want to point out for 2020, no Marvel film dropped that entire year. In regards to Shazam, I think the movies they had to deal with 2019 were Endgame. No, they had to do with the Marvel, Endgame, and Far From, as a caveat. So let's go through it. Man of Steel, $258 million budget, $688 million. So you broke even, just about, and you made a little bit of money. So not a lot of money was made back. Dawn just $300 million budget, made $803.6 million. Okay, it wasn't liked by a lot of people. Movie liked, but you made, and this, and by the way, this is worldwide. This is not domestic. That's why. $175 million budget, made $746.88 million. Okay, that is a little less because it means there was a lot of money because CGI. Your movie made a lot more back. I almost want to say them made that money back with soundtrack. I think this is more what made that movie is money back. Beer Woman, the first one, between $100 and $150 million, made $882.3 million. Your first legit success. Sure, so that's why it made with a 175 budget versus making 746 This is like a success. But this is a solo film. This is your female solo film, and it pulled in this. That is huge. It's also Gal Gadot's first leading role in a major. So that's you have a bona fide star movie to go. Arguably it made more. It didn't make more than still did. It made arguably more of a popular commodity than Wonder Woman. It just is. I hate saying that. I'm not trying to see sexist like that, but Wonder Woman is not as she's part of the trend. But if we're looking at the trendy in terms of ranking, it goes Batman, Superman, then Wonder Woman. That's just unfortunately how facts work. Just $300 million, $657.9 million. So you pretty much you broke and you made $57.9 million to spare. Pretty much. That's what it looks like. That's what it is. Aquaman is the most successful money-wise film of the DC universe so far. $200 million budget, $1.148 billion. Why? Because one, the film is good. Two, it has no connection with the films prior to it. I think the reason this movie made so much because this film had after the bomb that was Justice League, people wanted something different. This was different. It gave a complete story. It had a great cast. Peter Wan's vision of what Aquaman could came to life, and it was faithful to the comics, also keeping it to his overall horror sci-fi in a way, and that was really dope. Plus, it's got Jason Momoa, who at that point was still I just gotten done. He was more than 10 years removed from Game of Thrones. And I was still going strong in 2018. 2019. Damn. Zaivi. You pulling all the people who love Chuck and you're bringing him into this where he play a kid? Hell yeah. What $1 million budget made $366. Now I understand that the amount is small, but if you look at it versus the budget, it made budget back and plus. Birds of Prey, $100 million budget, made $201.88. Not a success. Not a success. That's critically, but box office wise made his big. 1984, $200 million budget made $145 million. Now, while this is a bomb, you have to look at it. It was in 2020. No stores were open. They were probably drive-ins worldwide, and worldwide they were only open for like a week and a half at best. So the number is what it is. It's just a bomb. I'm sorry, and this isn't even. I don't know if this is counting. I don't know if this is counting. If this is counting streaming numbers or not. I don't. Now, this becomes an issue. Now we're only going to get films 2013 to 2020. If you look at that, DC's average budget was $188 million. The average made was $675.2 million. The total gross and budget was a $1.6 billion budget, $5.6 billion made. Now that does not seem a bad year. You spent $1.6 billion, you made $5.6 billion back, $4 billion. No big beans, right? Here's what the issue. Now this is 2013 to 2020. DCEU average budget from 2013. I already put the budget on here. Budget was what the budget. So give me 1 second, y'all. The budget was. Is that it, or is that's a sum? Okay. So let's see. The budget was only 211. The average budget was $211 million. That's the average budget for the MCU from 2013 to 2020. The average made in that same time frame is $860 million. That's without counting Black Panther, Infinity War, Captain Marvel, Endgame, and Spider-Man From Home. You guys took 5 films out of their lineup. I'm almost at my average is still higher than the DCU's total average so far. Their budget, the MCU, a $3 billion budget, $2.3 billion made. Is only 18. It's 18, and it is 18.7, including Black Panther, Infinity War, Captain Marvel, Endgame, and Far From Home. So those 5 films alone made 8.4 billion on their own. 8.4 billion, y'all. And and I'm gonna just go to the films that were in there alone in that time frame. From 2013 to 2020, we had the following films: Iron Man 3, Thor: The Dark World, American Winter Soldier, Guardians of the Galaxy 1, Age of Ultron, Ant-Man, Civil War, Doctor Strange, Guardians 2, Spider-Man Homecoming, Thor: Ragnarok, Black Panther, Infinity War, Ant-Man and the Wasp, Captain Marvel, Avengers Endgame, Far From Home. Mind you, the films that start off in 2013 were the worst films of all of them. Iron Man 3 and Thor: The Dark World are the worst films of the MCU, arguably. And they just kept going. And sure, this is unfair. Some people think this is unfair because Marvel had a head start. The reason I will never get that is because of this following thing. Marvel has done this without having their big head honchos available. We didn't get Spider-Man until 2016. They started in 2008 with the cinematic universe. So they went 8 years out their biggest characters. They have Spider-Man, they have the Fantastic Four, or the X-Men. Realistically, they don't even have Hulk available. Hulk only has the only character in this entire series to have one film. And the only reason is because of some media or some kind of right issue going on between them and Paramount. But understand that, and Hulk is arguably, I can make the argument Hulk had a less, but Hulk. See, their film isn't like Wonder. Okay, as bad as Wonder Woman is, and I know it's because COVID. If when the Hulk came out right now, Hulk will make more money than it. Hulk spent less and made more money. Hulk spent a $150 million budget, and made $264.7 million back. I'm just saying, like okay, and sure, focusing on money being made is one thing. We need to understand when we bring this up, the reason we bring this up because money wise, this DC cannot sit here and say we're the connected universe versus when this has been all about money grabs. The problem is the money grab hasn't worked out well for you. It just their characters are. If we look at the lexicon of comic book culture, Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman, the Joker, the Flash, and Aquaman are way more known characters than the Guardians of the Galaxy or Captain Marvel or Black Panther. They just are. That's a simple, well-known fact. And the fact that you've had these films had the pantheon of comic book characters in them and haven't done well, it's not good. So I want to go over how I think they should save them. And do it is really just three things. Now before that, I want to address Ray Fisher's son elephant in the room, which is the Snyder cut. And that was going to lead me to my first thing. So if I ever I probably highlight this video on Twitch. So if you want to go back and look at it, this will probably be the highlight start. Is how to save the DCEU. Okay, so into that. Point number one. Ignore fan pressure at all. Now, here's what I mean by that. The Snyder should not happen. I have said this on many different topics, places, many platforms. If you look what kind of Black Nerdcast is this, which you should be listening to, we have various topics. We have beaten this to death. But these cuts should not happen. I know a lot of people want to say that the Snyder cut is because Zack didn't get the complete vision. This is all Joss Whedon's fault. Let's address something wrong. Zack Snyder's daughter's untimely death is tragic. I understand that. But that's not a reason to spend $70 million to redo a film that came out in, what was that, 2016? No, I'm sorry, that's 2017. So let's go. The film dropped in March. By the way, why open in March? I want to think about what comes out in March this year. March year, you have the following. I'm gonna just put this right here so that we can see it. March 5th, WandaVision finale. March 19th, Falcon and Winter Soldier. March 27th, Godzilla versus Kong. It's all we about for right now. So this Snyder cut is going to be. What day could you drop on? Now, mind you, it's a 4-hour film. What day could this on to where it would work? You can put it. You're not putting the same day as WandaVision, which is already getting critically acclaimed. 3 episodes fell flat. Really, 2 episodes, honestly. And I'm gonna jump on Falcon and Winter Soldier. You learned a lesson. You moved off the same day as Civil War with BVS because you want to avoid this. and Godzilla vs. Kong, you wouldn't be so stupid as to drop a 4-hour film on the same day. This is gonna drop. You're gonna drop it. The only date will be the 12th. But who's gonna watch a 4-hour film on the 12th when they want to watch it over time? But if I got a month to watch it, I could watch these other things. So to get back to this, what I mean by this is the Snyder Cut should not happen. It just shouldn't. The fact that they're even allowing this makes no sense to me. I don't get the unnecessary backing of Whedon with this, because Whedon did you all a solid. Sure, this is not the movie you thought it was going to be. But Snyder built this universe to be what it is. It was destined to fall the second they announced it. We beat Justice League after what? What is that? Your fourth film? Justice League is your fourth film. So it's your fifth film in a film franchise. Mind you, in that, you only have 2 films that are solo character films. You have not built a culture. You have not built up a story. You're just putting together that you think people will know and hope it will work. And it didn't. It didn't work the first time. Look. There is a unedited cut of Justice League already out, and it was fine. It's not great. It was fine. You already lost when we put your movie out in November, and it came around the same time as Thor Ragnarok. Thor Ragnarok, by the way, was off of the Dark World. It wasn't a good film, and Thor Ragnarok does better than you. Has major character than you do. It's a better film. So the issue that we run into is that they did not your fan. They allow the social media blast us everywhere saying release is not a to the point where Snyder started getting implemented. It started doing little hints at it. DC and Warner Brothers are the A-ball. They're like, well, shit. We're going to drop an app that we're going to need a big draw for. Disney has already dropped their app. They have the Mandalorian coming, and already pretty much we assume they're going to drop more Marvel stuff on that. We got to do something. We got to figure what we're going to do. And instead of just doing the properties you could have done, there is so much you could have done with the DCU as a big here you go moment instead of doing the cut. You could have done Titan season 3. You could have done Doom Patrol season 3. Swamp Thing season 2. Star Girl season 2. But no, you're dumping a bunch of money into a movie that doesn't happen. And in a movie with cast doesn't make sense. Why the fuck is the Joker Justice League movie? When was he ever involved in that movie whatsoever? There was no hint in him in this movie whatsoever. Putting characters in there that don't involve the Atom is in this movie for some weird reason. Was the Atom ever involved in this movie? The movie, and this whole thing, of course, is going to bring Ray Fisher controversy. Now I want this now, and I wanted to make sure I'm clear about this. I don't know what happened. I don't know how it happened. I don't know when it happened or what happened. But I'm going to give you all my because I've been trying to say I've been keeping. I haven't truly said my theory of what happened during the Justice League thing, to where the investigation happened and it's still ongoing and stuff like that. Here's my theory on Ray Fisher. So what I think happened is this. I think he was brought in to do justice, or he was brought in to do BVS. He was brought in to do BVS. And when he was going to do that, I imagine Zack Snyder talked and said, "We're gonna have you only do BVS. We're gonna do Justice League, and we're gonna finally get a Cyborg movie made." Now, I want to remind you all that the basis of Justice League that we're seeing now is based on the new 52. For the most part, if I pull it up correctly. Give me 1 second, you all. Where is it? There it is. That's what I wanted to say. All right, cool. Okay, so going back to this, I believe he was promised. He was verbally promised those roles. Because nothing in writing Cyborg's even happening. He would be involved in Flashpoint, some kind of capacity. Eric Fisher would have some kind of hand, whatever. And Whedon came on. Now, what I believe happened, I believe Whedon come in to do Justice League versus Josh. It's the same thing. It's kind of like when a coach for a team gets sick or gets fired, and a new coach in and teach their scheme. Sure, that might be somewhat the same, but it's not what you want. And he might say differently to you than the other coach. He might demand things from you, like he might ask. That's just the case. Whedon has done this, despite the only person in the actors' room that has experience with these kind of films, other than is honestly Ben Affleck and Jeremy Irons, and maybe what is his name? Ben Affleck, Jeremy Irons, Kay Simmons, and that's it. There's no one else. And maybe Joe Mack, but he wasn't even in the film. So and okay, I'm sorry. And Willem Dafoe, even though not in the film that long. So that is my issue with not my issue, but what I think happened is he had an issue with the way that Whedon treated him compared to the rest of the cast. The rest of the cast are seasoned to a degree. Shagado's not as seasoned as the rest of the cast, but she's done more movies and been more movies than you have. That's just a fact. That's an odd fact. You shown, and this is not to say Ray Fisher is a bad actor. I'm not saying that whatsoever. But what I am saying is, I think happened next is he had this interest about what happened to him. He probably somebody like Chris Terrio and Jeff Johns and like what's going on. They're like, no, we're gonna move on. Or something to that effect. And I believe he was never gonna get his Cyborg movie. I don't think he was. I think what happened was and you look at it timeline wise. The second they announced this cut, no, I'm sorry, the Snyder cut gaining real traction and starting possibility, he comes out with this news, and he's going after everybody except main cast and Snyder. He's not mentioning the Snyders whatsoever. Not Zach, not Deborah, none of them. But he doesn't mention everybody else. Everybody else is complicit. He doesn't mention any of the actors in charge. Now, question that really throws us off is that he mentions Walter Hamada. who is now running DC. The DC films, and I think Warner Brothers to a degree. Walter Hamada didn't start at DC until let's see. If we go to his thing, I'm quite sure we can bring that up. He called in 2020. He called in 2020 he accused Joss Whedon misconduct while filming Justice League. And then he said he was no longer going to work at DC Films under Walter Hamada, called him the most dangerous enabler. Walter Hamada didn't working under DC until 2018. That film came out in 2017. So mind you, so he was a part of DC at that point. Whatsoever. As a matter of fact, he was helping on horror films. The last one he worked was in 2017. So I'm confused to why does he have an issue with him? Which made me believe Ray has nothing. Oh, I'm sorry. Which leads me to believe that Ray ultimately has no case. They're looking into it. Sure, they're looking to see if any true issue with it. But do I think there's an actual case going on there? My internet's acting weird, Rio. Stop that. And everybody else watching. Do I think there's an actual case? What? I think so. Because there was truly a case on the solved by now. But if this was okay, with the names that are involved, it's John, who, without question, has had accusations put on him before. The accusations put on him before. I'm not making excuses for Tweet. I think Josh Whedon is a hard ass, and he needs his his directing methods are questionable at best. But there was an actress that was a part of she was a part of Buffy that said that his that his methods were. Hold on. I don't know why. Like, okay, this is that where it's at. But there were. Will you stop moving, please? Okay. I don't know why it was. Lord have mercy. But the issue you run into is that you'll move up on your own. Okay, hold on. Let's see if I go through here and fix this. Give me 1 second. Okay, how about now? All right. That should be. Let me go through here in settings. All right. So I'm gonna move my mic all the way back so that way it's not as next to y'all. But the issue you kind of run into is that I don't think there was ever a movie planned. I'm not saying he's a liar, but this investigation is going on way too long, and there's nothing really being explained as to what happened. Even with Ray coming out saying what he said so far, there hasn't really been a okay. Technology, y'all. It's the devil of all of us. All right. That. Okay, how am I sounding now? All right, 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2. All right, here we go. All right, so the issue you kind of run into is still doing that same thing. I don't know why. Lord. All right, let's move the mic further so that way it's not as loud. But fuck. All right, I'm gonna start wrapping up in a minute, a while from now. But I got like 30 minutes left. So the issue you run into with this is that, unfortunately, I don't think that the ever movie being created. I don't. I don't. I think what was happening is that Ray wanted a movie. There was some screwed up crap happening with Whedon, and we might have taught him a little unfairly, and wanted more to push him. And Ray was like, "Well, I got this anger about the movie, and I don't do with it. They're making a remake of this league, huh? Let me go along and let me just say my piece, so that way I can get what I want. I can get my movie done. Because mind you, if you look at his social media, when it comes to the board, prior to being announced, quiet as a church mouse. He didn't say a motherfucker about this movie or about any issue going on. None of it. None of social media had it. Not Twitter, not Instagram, none of it. So, and I don't think there was ever a movie made. I don't know. But again, I don't know what happened. If bad did happen, then I do feel bad for him. If something bad truly did happen. But I don't know. And a part of me hopes he's not lying. We don't know. But let's get back to the rules. But yeah, ignore fan pressure at all costs. That includes, for the love of God, ignore what's going on this air thing. Do it. Just don't do it. It's not worth it. It's simply not worth it to do a air cut. We don't need a Snyder. Don't. Whatever the fans want, don't give them. The reason Marvel works so well is because Marvel gives people what they want. They give them what they need. You want another Spider. You want Black Panther with Storm. But you need Guardians. You need Thor Ragnarok. You know what I'm saying? I'm not giving you what you want. I'm gonna give you movies and hint stuff. I'm gonna keep you coming. It's essentially Marvel is breadcrumbing fan base, which is just cool. I'm one who that enjoys those breadcrumbs. DC is giving you a whole damn hoagie. Hoagie tastes bad. So that's my first thing. My second thing is this, and we'll get this to number 2. Stop focusing on the Trinity. Now, I want to I'm about to say it makes sense. I understand the Batman has come out, but the Batman is a movie that is not involving the D universe whatsoever. Wonder Woman 3 is to come out in about 3 years. Do not. I think next maybe movies, that should be the last one. I don't want to see anything connected to Batman, Superman, or Wonder Woman. That means Suicide Squad 3 or whatever, or Harley Quinn movie, or Birds of Prey movie with Harley Quinn in it. No. If you do Birds of Prey 2 without Harley Quinn in it and it's just 3, yes, that works. Sure, the Huntress is her own character. She doesn't need to be involved with Batman. None of them do. You can do movies that DC on its own has more established characters in the line of comic book culture than Marvel does. They just do. Marvel characters are very niche. They're all based around 3 pillars. Based around you're either part of the Avengers, you're Spider-Man's core, you're part of I won't go there. They're different of Marvel that are there, but the main 3 are really just X-Men, Fantastic Four, and Spider-Man. Let's just be honest. The biggest sellers are those 3. But Marvel in this year, in their time alone, they took characters that weren't big characters and made them work. Iron Man is a D-list character. Captain America is a D-list character. Thor is a D-list character. They made these guys as A-plus characters in movies and comics now. Thor has one of the highest-rated books in the last 10 years with Jason Aaron of the Thor book. Iron Man, they're just making money on money. You have all these characters work well. For DCEU, you have a bunch of characters you can easily do that are not these Trinity. You have the Flash, you have Aquaman right there. Use them. I don't want to see another property with those main 3. And when I say stop the Trinity, I mean TV and movies. I don't want to see another series based around those 3. We don't need another Batwoman. We don't need another Titan series. Titan is just the Trinity over again. Doom Patrol works. Stargirl works. Swamp Thing works. Give me more series like that. You quite have a movie series of the Hunger Games perfectly. You mean Hunger Games couldn't work in DC if you did a greener version of that? Or think about Squad. Suicide Squad in this movie had a great cast. You know who was underutilized the entire movie? Katana, one of your best characters, had no speaking lines in the entire film. She's the only member of the team that had a badass power that's never used. The only one. Everyone else in that movie's power is used or ability is used. Hers not. Not once. Do a movie based on her. You have all these great characters. I'm looking at books now. First Sector. Exactly. What Donnie is doing with Thorin's God tier. Think of if Donnie can Thor run right and put into a movie, that could become his send off. Let Natalie Portman do the Thor movie and do King Thor or Old Thor as a series with Chris Hemsworth, and it would be gold like that. Hell, I wouldn't be surprised if that Thor series, if Dark Kid's run of Thor or there's a run of Thor where he's unworthy Thor is only used for the Guardians movie and Thor Level 11. I wouldn't be surprised if Thor's trying to find a way to convince Chris Hemsworth to do a 6 Disney+ series based on Old Man Thor. So in that capacity, DC, you have this character that you could run and do TV and movie with. Refuse to because you want to stick to your bread and butter. But guess what? The reason Marvel is whooping your ass right now is because they take calculated risks. Telling us as fans we aren't going to get Thanos. We see him in what, 2011? The first time we see him in like a live action, a majority of the film is what 28? Yeah, no, 2018. 7 years later, 7 years, 16 later. That's when we see him. Marvel, you had the rights next to Captain Marvel for years, and gave to the tail end to her in there. Spider-Man, one of the last 5 films of the Marvel Universe, and still making bread. DC, we don't Batman all the time. We don't need Superman. The idea it baffles me to no end that DC in a 5-year time span will have 3 different Batman on around. 3 different Batman. Robert Pattinson's Batman. I'm sorry, 4. Robert Pattinson's Batman. Ben Affleck's Batman. What's his damn name? What is his damn name? Because he's in the Flashpoint movie. What is his name? Who's Flashpoint? Not Flashpoint. The Flash, which still makes no sense how it's called Flash. Let's see. Who's this? What was his damn name? Michael Keaton back. So, and then you want to have a 4th Batman that's going to be part of the main DC. Like, just stop. Just stop. You don't need to rely on your true characters to make money. You don't. You have more than enough. Marvel's getting ready to roll out a DCEU R-rated Deadpool movie after Deadpool made $1 billion on its own, not once but twice. Deadpool was the reason people were like, you know what? But if Fox kept the rights to it, I wouldn't be about it. On one, it's not as if DC has a character like that they easily use to have crappy potty here and get easily like that. Oh wait, they do call Booster Gold. Oh wait, no, it's not even Booster Gold. You have Booster Gold. You also have Lobo. That's the second biggest issue. The third, and this is one I really want to highlight, and I know I'm gonna flack for, but fuck it. Make the TV and movies one universe. I want to understand something. The reason that DC will ultimately fail. You know what? There's one film I care what it looks, the sounds, how the trailers look, all that kind of stuff. There's one movie I know is gonna fail when it comes out, and that's The Flash. Let me tell you why. The reason The Flash will fail more than any movie that DC has put out prior to this, and that's including Wonder Woman 1984, is because The Flash has damn near 6 seasons content are in the CW. 6 seasons. So that means no matter what D does movie-wise with Ezra Miller and Flash, it will automatically be compared to the TV series. No matter what villain, what storyline, all will be compared to Flash. Especially if the rumors that they want to do the first Flash movie, and they want to have a Flashpoint where against first Flash. As if the Flash series needs to have a reverse Flash. Oh wait, they do, and he was amazing. So now you've now screwed the pooch. You screwed the pooch because with this, you made to where your TV series will automatically crap on your movies. I mentioned them doing Superman as a movie for Green Arrow. You know what? That might work, because Superman was so they hinted at it. They did a sort of version of that in Arrow. The version I'm talking about is completely different. It actually worked. But you move at the series they've done so far, TV wise, you can't make it in movies. You can't do bad now. How? You had one bad season, and your second season where you introduce a new character and a girl that's not even in the comics. The series didn't get a lot of the first episode got hated on. And arguably, it's not in the actress' fault. The actress did an amazing job. This shit is just bad. It's just bad, right? What are you gonna do? A Grace show? Not a Grace show. A Grace movie? You can't do that. Grace is on time. Happened. What are you gonna do? You're gonna do a movie that Man Steel 2? Well, that will involve both us and Clark. Oh wait, your TV show that you put. Oh wait, no, you canceled it after one episode. See a trend here. The series, the TV and movies need to be connected. It needs to be one universe. And I understand that DC has the multiverse, and they want to emphasize that, but you just got rid of that. You got rid of that in your comic. You just did an entire series. You had let's see, when did that come out? Dark Knight came out around 2017, 2018. It's been 4 years. You've ran with a series on this where the ultimate is one shared universe. You can write the TV, but you haven't written the movies yet. Now, you don't have that. I will give a perfect example of this. I want to explain to you how this works perfectly. I'm going to use this. I hate putting these two together. WandaVision first thing to come out from Marvel in 2 years. No, sorry, a year. They took all 2020. They took all of 2020 off. I need to repeat that. They took all of 2020 off. They had WandaVision, Falcon and the Winter Soldier, Loki, What If, all done. You then had the Eternals, Black Widow, which I pray to God comes out this year, and Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings done. Which you've then been working on Spider-Man 3 and Doctor Strange 2. And not in the MCU, but in the MCU, Venom 2, and more. That's 11. You look at Vision. What does one of it tie directly into? One ties directly into Doctor Strange 2, Spider-Man 3. Falcon and Winter Soldier directly into what? Black Widow. Will tie into Doctor Strange 2, or Love and Thunder, and whatever and Loki season 2. WandaVision, Loki. What are they tying into? What If? Which probably ties into Eternals. Eternals will probably, and then in the Shang-Chi will probably tie into what? A rebirth for Iron Fist. Do you see how in one universe it would connect everything without able to connect them all while they're still in their own in the silos? That is my point. You're not confusing anyone because I'll give you an example. The Mandalorian. The Mandalorian 2 ended with its Boba Fett is coming 2021. Oh, with that. Wonder why we're fine with that? Disney ultimately had an investor day meeting saying, by the way, so the Mandalorian will connect to two other spin-off shows, which will be the Rangers of the New Republic and Ahsoka. You've seen both of those series in the Mandalorian season 2. So when you watch, be confused. So that works. And mind you, this means that whatever in the TV won't damage the rotation of movies. There is not a version of Wanda that's in the TV show. There's a different version of her that's in movies. It just works better. It just does. Hell, Spider-Man is taking to bring back two different universes, put in the third Spider-Man movie. Does that work? Yes, it does. Surprisingly, because they're not comparing. They are making you compare the old Spider movies to the current one. Now, what they end up doing is make you compare the cartoon version of Spider-Verse to the live action version of that, but that's not a big deal. Again, you're comparing, like, you're not comparing live action. You're not comparing apples. You're comparing apples to oranges. The apple being the live action, the orange being animated. That works. I don't need a Flash movie. I don't need a Flash movie. I have 5 seasons of the Flash TV show to watch on streaming without interruptions. I need to watch the Flash. Especially when it's covering a storyline that the TV show covered in 3 episodes flat. I'm just, and to go back to the second thing about the Trinity, that's another thing. Don't have them involved. You can do tons of series that are DC related that have nothing to do with Trinity. You have the Green Lantern as a part of your universe. Green Lanterns that are literally characters, have stories on their own. You have Kilowog, Guy Gardner, John Stewart, the Black Lantern. Have a series yet? Hal Jordan. Spies, which in this day and age will be perfect. He's a Muslim American Green Lantern. And you'll get to work, right? Because you're ready for that, right? Oh no, you're not, because Marvel beat you to the punch with Miss Marvel, a Pakistani American girl that comes out actually this year. So you have no content to drop this year. Justice League is your big draw. It better work, because if it didn't, you have this year DC that we want to look for. Other than the only thing DC wants to dropping this year alone is Snyder Cut and Suicide. And the only reason we're going to go see Suicide is not because of DC. It's because of James Gunn. We want to see if he's truly the badass we all think he is, and can he pull off making a Guardians of the Galaxy movie in DC. Now think about this movie. I want it because of DC. I want it because of him. And it's an issue. You think about the characters that are in Squad. You have really a character called King Shark. There's a giant shark that has one of the funniest panels of all time. He's literally right down that hill. I'm a shark. That's funny. And you are forcing me to say that I'd rather see James Gunn directorial vision on this movie than actually watch the movie for a BDC movie. That is a problem. It's a serious issue. How would I fix this? The first thing you need to do is ignore those rules. But also do low films. Do any team ups. That means Suicide. And you know what? The only teams I would do team ups that are so deep cuts, it would make no sense. So like look at the wall. Like give me a Barter movie. Give me a movie about Miracle. Give me about Mother Panic. Give me a Green Arrow movie. Give me hell. If you want to do a Batman movie, give me a Dark Knights movie. Give me a what if series based on the Dark Knights. A 7-part series with involving anime, because DC has one. I will give DC when it comes to animated movies, top tier, automatically top. They had 20-some movies of just heat. You can tell me that you all can't come back in the lab and do a seven-part movie just explaining just a nice metal of each of the comics. I'll show y'all one right now. This is Batman Merciless. This is a comic that's about what if Batman killed Ares. The same Wonder Woman kills Ares. You mean to tell me as an animated movie this one? Or hell, I got one I can't take down because it's too high up. But Batman the Red Death as an animated movie. Batman takes the Flash's powers, or the one that loves nowadays, how popular he is. But the Batman who's based back, but with a Joker mindset, as an animated movie, that wouldn't work. And granted, I just don't don't stick on the Trinity. But if you're going to do the Trinity, that's what we see. I don't want. I'm sorry. I don't want to see Superman's. I don't want to see Superman leaving Krypton again. I don't want to see Bruce Wayne's parents killed in the alley for the 10th time. I don't. The only thing I was kind of happy about even about Superman wasn't even his movies. It was on Krypton, and they canceled that instantaneously. It's like, oh no, that's too bold. That's too much sense. That's much original or character development. We can have that. Never that. Canceled that show. It's not even on the DC. As far as I know, the DC or the HBO app. It's on neither of those. That had 2 good seasons that were damn good. Canceled it. I'm gonna revive it. None of that. What you should revive because it did arguably the 2 seasons of that show were better than the entire line of DC so far. They just were. I can't look at those pros again. Dog. Who wants to? I'm sorry, but like, in the issue I run into with this is that I don't come off as a Marvel homer. I'm not. I like both Marvel and DC. As you can tell, I have a comic from both Marvel and DC. I want both to work. I want to be equal competition out there to be. This has been a one-sided war, and what I mean by that, I mean as in only one side thinks there's actually a war going on, and that's DC. Marvel, what you want to do. Marvel's like our own thing. If you want to do that, that's fine. Marvel legitimately, the part that pissed me most, the Marvel was more behind the 8-ball starting off their unit than you were. You had access to all characters. Marvel didn't. Marvel did not have Fantastic Four or the X-Men or Spider-Man and any of his villains. You had everyone. Everyone. And you screwed them how many times? Let's be realistic. If we're being completely honest, if we look at these films, only 2 of them lost. You know what? 3 of them have been successful, and solos. Wonder Woman, Superman, and Shazam have been your only successful films, critic and money wise. So again, tell me why you can't do something better. Explain to me. Now, the question ultimately comes up at the end of this is, should DC be saved? Should they be allowed to correct from what they're doing? No. I'm at the point where we screwed them so badly, there's no point wanting them to. You almost want to say, well, maybe if they had Kevin Feige like person there to fix the things, it will get better. And I hope Walter Hamada gets the shot he deserves. But based on Ray Fisher bullshit, based on the movement of the air cut being a thing, it's like people wanting better. No, they don't. Because this was going to happen. They're going to. I called this months ago. They'll submit to fan press. They're going to put out an air cut. They don't want to put out original content for the HBO app during a pandemic. And Marvel will keep checking on. Now Marvel does have a choice. Marvel does have a huge task in front of it, where they're going to have to decide to put the rest of their movies on pre-access for Disney Plus. I surmise I think Marvel wants these films to come out because they don't want to halt their universe any further than they already have. They've already taken a year off. They can't afford to take it two. Realistically, they could afford to, but are they going to? No. And the issue that you run into with this is that DC went from having the upper hand in the beginning. If you look at the beginning of both of them, both had the upper hand. DC had the upper hand. They were cut off the Dark Knight series. They were untouchable. Now they can be very muched. You have Marvel has 20 movies above you that are they could buy a couple countries. You can barely buy a state. The fact of the matter is, for every movie you try to make to Marvel's gonna be like, oh, I have more for you. And this isn't even counting the independent stuff that's going on, different things. Marvel can afford to wait, but I don't think they will. I think the only if I'm being 1,000% honest, of the three, the 4 films that are supposed to drop this year, I Spider-Man will be the only one that will be pushed back. Realistically, that's the only thing that can be pushed back. Because even though it's supposed to be set Christmas setting up reported, they can push that to January, February of next year. Will theaters be open by then? Will it be a thing? By sure. But Black Widow, I could drop it on Disney Plus. Hell, I could see Black Widow drop on Disney Plus at additional cost. Eternals and Shang-Chi will be additional costs. I think those two are our original properties that we've never seen before. Black Widow we've seen before. So I think they could charge for those two and then push Spider-Man back. But again, the issues will ultimately be for DC, what do they do next? What is coming? You are going to feel excited for, because you've shown us nothing. There's nothing down the pipe that they're going to have for us. And the problem with this is Marvel's set up for shooting. No, I'm going to say Marvel. This shooting for their content is way better than yours. During that investment they had in December, they announced, was it 4? 3 more studios, like the same studio, like akin to the exact same kind of studio that they shot The Mandalorian in. They shot The Mandalorian in one studio, y'all. Eight episode season in one studio. I have 4 of these bad boys. I shoot movies and TV shows. So that means let's just take this year alone. I could shoot in the year, pandemic, social thing. I can shoot over 50% to 75% of my movie or show in the studio, and then just do live action outside on location somewhere, like in Atlanta. They're pretty much shooting every movie for Marvel, and just CGI and the rest in. Again, y'all, they have Black Widow, Shang-Chi, Legend of the Ten Rings, Eternals done, and they have the trailer for either of the 2 movies I said last. Shang-Chi and Legend of the Ten Rings, Shang-Chi and Eternals have a trailer. DCEU wants to drop Snyder Cut in March, and ain't did one announcement other yet. Mind you, the current right now is what happens tomorrow. This Godzilla vs. Kong trailer, which drops in March. So you have to decide. So they have to decide. DC has 3 options. None of them are good. You have the option A, drop the Snyder Cut on the 12th, which will be in between WandaVision ending and Falcon and Winter Soldier starting. You drop this on the 5th or the 10th, the same day, those 2, or you drop it the same day as Godzilla, which means one to get eaten by the other. And I'm willing to Godzilla vs. Kong Snyder Cut. It's shorter, it's interesting, and it's new. We've seen Snyder Cut already. Not in the sense we've seen the movie because it's already been out, but we've seen that we don't need to see them again. Knowing that half the damn cast ain't coming back. We know Ben Affleck is only coming back for The Flash if he does. Gal Gadot is going to get ready to shoot Wonder Woman 3, and that's Henry Cavill. We don't know what the situation was going on with Superman. He's doing The Witcher, and you're holding up his process of Witcher, which is a better property right now than DC is. Ezra Miller, took the bitch. We don't know what's going on with him. Ray Fisher, not going. Momoa, I think they're currently shooting at 2. Everyone else is pretty much leaving. So what's the point? What's your goal here? To correct the mistake, to correct the mistake, because a Marvel guy came in, did a movie a Marvel way, and then you're all pissed off about it. To the point where now everyone is basically saying, "Oh, you don't consider his cut canon," but you want his cut. Let's be real here. Aquaman made money, but Aquaman made money because of how it was in Whedon's cut, which in turn made Shazam more interesting because we were going off that the new fresh take of seeing how it was all colorful and bright. But Whedon's cut canonical. So no, I don't believe DC should be shaved. I think they are falling into a deep hole that they cannot get themselves out of. The only way you're going to be able to come out of this is they won't do it. Take a 5-year break. Don't release shit related to deep for 5 years. Plan, build, start working on it. Build something up. Start with obscure characters. You have tons of them. Build up a universe that people are interested in. And sure, you might hate because you haven't done anything recently. That's fine. If you tell me right now, DC is going to fuck it, build up a universe, but in the meantime, between time, we'll do a Joker 2. We'll do the Batman 2 as a way to place hold you guys. Sure, but come back. We're coming back to something different. The scary, in all honesty, I would keep Aquaman and I would keep Shazam, and then build from there. And here's the reason why. This kind of go back to Ray Fisher. I don't want to bury too much into Cyborg. Cyborg never a part of the Justice League. Not until recently. Not until 10 years ago. There's always been the following people: Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman, Green Lantern, Manhunter, Hawkman, Hawkgirl, if you want to be honest. Or rather play semantics. Cyborg's never been a part of the Justice League. He only was part of it recently because they wanted to get to the dark side quickly, which you should never do, because dark side is a end boss kind of villain. He's not the villain. So sometimes I'm sorry. He's the villain, but he's not a everyone come together right now for me villain. That could be Mondo. That could be any alien race that you could find in DC. That could be Sinestro. Not Mondo. Mongol. That could be Bobo. On honesty. So the only way they can say is to completely scrap everything. I would keep Gal Gadot as a woman. I would keep. I know that she isn't the best one, but she's serviceable. I would keep Jason Momoa as Aquaman. I would keep Zachary Levi as Shazam and keep that entire cast together because that cast is amazing together. Margot Robbie as Harley Quinn. She's been by the role. And until we have the Suicide Squad, I can't see anyone else come back and being those roles again. Because right now, this is just to end this off in this video. DC isn't in terms of live action and adaptation. They're fourth. Marvel is number one. Marvel / DC is number one. Netflix and Amazon are fighting for 2 and 3. Netflix has dropped The Old Guard. They have Umbrella Academy. And they have coming down the pipe that is coming to the base. Amazon has the books and Invincible. So they have a live action and a cartoon. What of us have that can mess with any of that in the past 3 years? This is a fact. It's not. So I wasn't able to do the impossible. I wasn't able to say the but I gave you building blocks. That's a bunch of games for free $9. You either start over, or and I forgot, guys. I'm supposed to say this. All the hooks get out the kitchen. Get your Kevin Feige. If that's Walmart, let it be him. But all the cooks out the kitchen. That means we'll stay the fuck out of Walter Hamada's way. Allow Walter Hamada and the director to cook how they would cook. The only people that should be in the back cook stuff is Hamada and the director of a certain dish. That's it. You supply the money, move the fuck out the way. That's all you gotta be there for. Disney learned that. Disney's that step very well. Say the fuck out of everybody's way. Give you some guidelines like, look, this movie can't be rated R. You only get maybe a few words. That's it. And get the fuck out the way. But that's it. DC can be saved. They gotta save themselves. I can't save them. See you guys next time. Peace and much love. Well, enjoy the video. Hope you got some outside of this. I'll highlight this video up soon. But yeah.